Shalom, family. It's time. It's time to put the finishing touches on that perfect cut. It's time to load up the van and gather the family for a road trip. For the road to Charleston, South Carolina. This November the 15th through the 17th in Charleston, South Carolina, the African Israelite Justice Foundation is hosting a conference. A gathering of kings and queens of Israel. A revealing of hidden Hebrews. To reclaim our history, our heritage, and through the grace and mercy of the Most High Yah, become empowered to victory. It is a conference where you will hear legal counsel, professional advice, history, music, and above all, prayer. Will the kings and queens of Israel arise and heed the call of the shofar? Israel, we look forward to seeing you there. Shalom. History. What do you know about history? No, not just any history. The history of Israel. You know, the ones in the Bible with all the prophecies. Yeah, that one. Well, what do you know about them, according to history? Did you know that there are high-definition pictures of the tribe of Judah in the British Museum today? In an exhibit called the Lakesh Relief, dating back to roughly 701 BC. And they do not look like what you would expect. You see, the children of Israel, the tribe of Judah, etched in stone on the walls of the British Museum, have short, woolly hair. So what does that mean? Well, it means we need to talk.
Now somebody tell me the difference between this guy and this guy. Whose side do you think this guy's on? The Assyrians, yeah, the conquerors, the Assyrians. And whose side do you think this guy's on? The slave, yeah, the people from Israel or Lachish. You can tell also by their distinctive hairstyle depicted in archaeology. The slave, yeah, the people from Israel or Lachish. You can tell also by their distinctive hairstyle depicted in archaeology.
And so, if they are a Negroid people, then where are they today? That is the question you need to ask. And I have the answer. Well, actually, the answer has been written in old books a long, long time ago. Books published and written before the 1850s. Did you know that according to the Webster Dictionary, that the word Negro did not refer to a person of African descent until after the year 1555, which was over 50 years after the start of the transatlantic slave trade. Then another question would be, then who are those people that they were calling Negroes that went into slavery before the year 1555? Now you're asking the right questions. And while you're at it, you should probably check out and see exactly what was going on in Spain and Portugal just before the start of the transatlantic slave trade. Have you ever wondered why black folks were called by the Spanish and Portuguese word for black? You know, Negro. And did you know that before the start of the transatlantic slave trade in 1501, that there was literally a town called the Village of the Negroes in Portugal? You know, the ones who started the transatlantic slave trade. And did you know that in the Portuguese town called the Village of the Negroes, that the people there, who were Jews, literally changed their last name to Negro? It's in the books. As the following reference reads, certain individuals of the family bore the additional cognomen or last name, Negro, with reference to the Moors from whom several of their estates had been obtained. And did you know that the Jews in Portugal were literally called the Negro Portuguese, or the Black Portuguese, before the start of the transatlantic slave trade? And that Portugal and Spain persecuted and enslaved these Israelite Negroes less than 10 years before the start of the transatlantic slave trade. It's in the books. And then sent them to the west coast of Africa in great numbers, to the exact places where which the transatlantic slave trade would start from less than 10 years later. It's in the books. That is, the old books, books published before the 1850s. As the reference reads, King John II in 1492 expelled all the Jews to the island of St. Thomas, which had been discovered in 1471, and to other Portuguese settlements on the continent of Africa. And from these banished Jews, the Black Portuguese, as they are called, and the Jews of the Wango, who are despised even by the very Negroes, are descended. And did you know that after these Portuguese Jews were expelled from the Portuguese town called the Village of the Negroes into Africa, that only then do we see a territory in Africa called Negroland, filled with Jews? It's in the books. And did you know that by Spanish law, that the first Negro transatlantic slaves had to have been born in Spain or Portugal? It's in the books. Did you know that the names of the Spanish and Portuguese Jews expelled to the west coast of Africa can be found in the transatlantic slave trade ship manifests as slaves? And did you also know that the people called Negroes today literally have the same last names of the Spanish and Portuguese Jews, and they don't even know it? And did you know that the first recorded African American family in Jamestown, Virginia, in the English colonies of 1619, were Spanish people with Spanish names of Antonio and Isabel Negro, carrying the last name of the tribe of Judah who lived in Spain and Portugal? And so, if you didn't know this information, check out my YouTube video called Unlocking the Hidden Secrets of 1619 and learn why Hispanic Heritage Month is also a month to celebrate African American heritage. And with that, I bid you shalom.